This is Gabe with Precision Propeller of Newburgh, New York, and welcome to another episode or edition of my Prop Podcast. That's right. If you have absolutely nothing better to do, I'm going to talk to you about boat propellers. Fascinating. But as you can see, I'm getting the hang of doing these podcasts. I actually added some nice music to the beginning. And now I just got to figure out how to fade it in a little bit better. So, but thank God for YouTube. You can pretty much find out anything on YouTube. So, but anyway, again, my name is Gabe. Along with my brother, I own Precision Propeller in Newburgh, New York. Our website is www.fixmyprop.com. And you can, if you get this and you're listening to it and you got a question about a boat propeller or something like that, shoot me an email, gabe at precision-props.com. We're on Facebook, so you can pretty much find me or hunt me down in any way, shape, or form. So, but I think I might have a co-host tomorrow. Tomorrow I might be doing this with my girlfriend, so that should be interesting. And her and I were batting around some ideas, and I'm actually looking for, and the reason why is because I'm actually looking forward to going out to Las Vegas in October, because it's actually a propeller convention, and I'm hoping to get this podcast stuff down where I'd like to interview some of the people for you guys right at the convention. And these are the guys that, you know, they actually make propellers, they make boat shafts. They're very, very, very interesting people. So I really want to see about getting them to do some of my podcasts so I can ask them some interesting questions so I can learn more too. Because I don't know everything about a boat propeller, but I'm always willing to learn a little bit more. So I'm looking forward to doing that. So today's topic of conversation is aluminum propellers and stainless steel propellers. So we could start with saying aluminum propellers basically are your all-around propeller. It's made of aluminum. It's pretty cheap. Aluminum propeller for an average alpha drive or something under, you know, in the name, not above like 250 horsepower, is probably going to run brand new about $180. And that's with all the hardware and stuff. So, and it's pretty standard stuff. If you damage a propeller, you can pretty much go into any marina or place that sells propellers, a prop shop, and pretty much walk out with another one. And they're relatively inexpensive to repair. And I will say this, as a prop shop, it's always cheaper to get your prop repaired than to buy a new one. Because number one is, if you damage your propeller and you go and buy another one, well, now you got just another old propeller that you really can't use sitting in your garage. So if time's of the essence, you know, have two propellers. So if you damage one, you could drop it off, have it repaired. It should cost you about $80 to $90 to get it repaired, which is typically, you know, about half the price of a new one. And then you can use your other one in the meantime, and vice versa. You damage that one, now you have another one to swap out. So I always encourage people to have two props. And again, aluminum being the most cost-effective propeller, it's pretty easy to have two of them. And in another podcast, we could talk about the differences, but you can actually have two different pitches for the type of boating you're going to do that day. So there's some variation. So, but stainless steel is a much stronger material, and with stronger comes more expensive. But the advantages of the stainless are the fact that there's so many different shapes and sizes that these stainless steel propellers come in, that you can pretty much have one kind of customized for your boat. But it comes at a price. Some of these props start at $400 and up. Some of the Bravo ones are $700, $800 just for one propeller, so they can get kind of expensive. So basically, the stainless props they're great because they got different shapes and sizes. but they do come along with a price tag. And if you're the type that kind of goes out very often and you're always, banging up an aluminum propeller, a stainless prop is much more durable and it'll take those hits and shots. So, but the magic question or the magic statement also always is the notion that putting a stainless steel prop on will damage my lower unit. And I am here to tell you that is incorrect. Incorrect. Not true. False. I should get my thesaurus and find all the words that I have my iPad here. But not true, incorrect, and all that other stuff. And the reason why is because there's, at our prop shop, we repair probably, 40, 50 stainless steel props a week, if not more, during the height of the season. And it's hard to imagine that a manufacturer would put out a product that would damage your lower unit. Now, I will tell you this, is the reason why that comes about is because a stainless steel prop is strong. If you ever picked up a stainless steel prop, you can feel how heavy it is. And it's made of stainless steel. So you can pretty much take that prop and drop it on the floor, and it really should not even make a dent in itself. So what happens is the misconception comes that you got a stainless steel prop on your boat, and you're cruising down, and you wax on, pow. What they're saying is that because the stainless steel prop has no give to it, that all the force is transferred through the I/O shaft into the gears. Now, I would say there is some truth to that, but that's not how it actually kind of works, and there's some things about it. So, number one, I would say 90% of the stainless steel props are now coming with this insert that fits into the cavity of the propeller. And what that is, it's a plastic insert. It sits inside the cavity of the propeller, and there is a bronze sleeve that fits in the other side of the cavity. And that sleeve actually matches the splines of your boat. So if you have a Merc, it would have the same amount of splines to fit on that. If you have a Honda, it would have the same amount of splines. If you have an OMC, it would have the same amount of splines. So basically, that propeller pretty much could fit any application. Now, that sleeve has 4 male ribs to it. And when you stick it inside the front side or the rear of the propeller, the side where you put the nut on, the 4 male ribs will slide into the 4 female ribs of the plastic insert that you've put in the backside of the propeller. So basically it fits together like a puzzle. So what happens is if you put this prop on, which is a stainless steel prop, and you put it on your boat and you're going out, when you hit something, pow. So the force that the propeller hits the object, whatever it is, if it's greater than the brake pressure of that plastic, it'll break that plastic. It's almost like a shear pin on a snowblower. If you know a snowblower, you have the augers in the front, so you're out there snow blowing. There's 2 feet of snow out there, you can't see, and all of a sudden you run up against a patio block that you had, and you forgot that it was out there. And so what that thing gets sucked into the augers, and the augers hit it, and the shear pin has a certain amount of pressure before it breaks. So it'll bust your shear pin before it transfers that damage into the gears of the actual auger of the snowblower. Same thing with a boat propeller in this case, is that you're cruising along, you hit something, that plastic insert will break. Those 4 male ribs in those 4 female ribs will actually, it'll just bust, pow. And I got pictures on my website of those plastic inserts that are just demolished. And and there is no damage to the lower unit. And what that does for you as the boater is, because you do get a performance increase in a stainless steel prop, you can actually take it and use it without feeling that it's going to damage your lower unit. Now, here's the opposite side to that. So, a stainless steel prop, when this is a hard part to explain. So, the thought process, if you have a stainless steel prop, it's going to damage your lower unit if you hit something. Okay, so we've already talked about the insert breaking. Second part of that is, what people don't understand is that a lot of times it doesn't matter what you hit, more so of how you hit it. What do I mean by that? So, you're traveling down, you have your trim up, and you hit something. Now, depending on the angle of that hit is where you would get that damage on your shaft. And the reason why is because if you can imagine your propeller on the shaft and it's going, and this is a lot easier visually, but okay, say there's a log in the river and you drive across it. Well, the log, as it goes past your skeg, which is that fin at the bottom, and it hits the propeller, it's kind of like you're driving down the road in your car and there's a speed bump, one of those big humps. Well, some of those humps are pretty high. So, but if you drive across it nice and easy, there's no impact to the front end of your car. But if you drive at that 40 miles an hour, the angle at which your car hits that is going to transfer that shock, diagonally up into your car, and it'll actually jerk your head forward. And when we're talking about a stainless steel prop, when you go across that log, the angle at which it hits your propeller is what causes the damage inside your lower unit. Because what happens is it hits the prop, and more so it hits the back part of the prop, not the front part of the prop, the suction part. And it'll hit that, and the impact will actually make the prop move up. And what that does, it'll bend that shaft, that I/O shaft inside the casing, and then all of a sudden now you got vibration and then it messes up all the gears inside, because basically you're running an oblong shaft inside there and you're just tearing everything apart. So it's mind you, if you did that with an aluminum propeller, the impact could have the same exact result. It's just that the aluminum propeller is a softer material, so it'll damage, it'll break, it'll have much more of a breaking. It'll break quicker, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it will break completely, that you won't get damage in your lower unit. It's the way the prop hits. It's the way the prop hits the object, or the object hits the prop. So that's a big misconception out there. That's, a lot of people that come into my shop and they're looking at the stainless and they kind of look at it like, it's evil and you don't want to use it. Well, you got to sit there and educate them a little bit, and you guys, and to say that you have to understand that it's the impact that actually does it. There's props, again, we fix, I can't even tell you how many stainless steel props come in at a time, and not every single one of those props have created a damage to the lower unit, and people enjoy them. It's just, some people have this misconception that you put a stainless steel prop on there, it's going to ruin your outdrive if you hit something. And I'm here to tell you, on August, 26th, happy birthday, Ma. That was yesterday, 27th, is that it won't. You have the same chances of ruining your lower unit or damaging your lower unit than you would with an aluminum prop. So I hope that cleared it up. Between the new insert, the breakaway hub insert that's you can put now into your stainless steel prop and aluminum props as well. Between that and just understanding how the lower unit works and gets damaged, hopefully kind of gives you a little bit more better understanding of why stainless props aren't so scary, so to speak. And I got to tell you, you put an aluminum prop that's you get an aluminum prop and a stainless steel prop. Actually, another one of the misconceptions is that stainless doesn't flex, so that's why it performs better. And again, I'm here to tell you on this podcast that is incorrect. Incorrect. And here, I'll tell you why, because I want to keep this podcast to about 20 minutes. So I'll tell you why. Because an aluminum prop, if that was the case, so every aluminum prop that came in would be like flat as a pancake. That every time you went out, well, actually, I should start this way. Aluminum props don't have memory. In other words, it's not like it's not like something that you could bend and boing, it'll go back. When aluminum bends, it stays bent. It doesn't come back. So under the thought process that aluminum flexes, well, it doesn't really flex because it doesn't have the ability to come back. So it should be that aluminum props bend, and that is part the case. But that actually is a whole nother podcast. You know what? I'm going to save that for another time, because good information like that just can't be rushed. And since we're about 17 minutes into this, and I just wanted to make a short informational podcast about stainless and aluminum, I'm going to do part 3 tomorrow, possibly with my girlfriend. And I'll talk a little bit more about the flexing, or the so-called flex machine, of the aluminum propellers. But this was fun. I hope you enjoyed it. And again, my name is Gabe, and I'm with Precision Propeller of Newburgh, New York. And you can find me on Facebook at Precision Propeller Repair. Our website is www.fixmyprop.com. And tune in tomorrow. And thanks for listening.